Good evening. This is Luke Holmquist here at the Earthquake Forecast Center. It is Tuesday, June 8th, 2021 at 8:19 in the evening, 8:19 p.m. on Tuesday, June 8th, 2021. And we have a warning for California. And we're going to go to that right now here. And first of all, I want to show you during the last few days, we had a 5.9 and another 5.9 off the northwest coast, and a 5.3 here near the Salton Sea, southeast of Los Angeles, and hundreds of earthquakes down in that area as well. However, if you look at the risk graph here for Los Angeles, you see that 5.3 hit right here. On the San Francisco one, the 5.9 hit right on here on June 4th, the 5.3 here, and there's a strong peak here on the 7th in the morning, and nothing but I believe it was a 4.1 hit near the Salton Sea today. However, and this also reached a maximum here on the 7th in the morning and a peak on the 8th. But this risk level is higher than the risk level when the 6.1 hit Anchorage. This produces 6.1. This risk level here could produce a 6.6 with all this energy. So we're still looking for a strong earthquake, and here's the reason why. Over in Greece, we had a very strong risk like this, and then the quake hit 2 days after the peak. The same thing happened in Japan. There was a risk level reached a maximum, and that Greece earthquake was in October 31st, 2020, and it peaked. The risk reached a spike or peak in risk on the 29th of October, and the quake hit on the 31st. And then in Japan on April 29th, there was a spike in risk in Japan, in Tokyo, and the quake hit on May 1st, a 6.8. So even though we've had a spike in risk on the 7th here, and again on the 8th in the Los Angeles area, we're still expecting, and nothing really significant except for that 4.1 out in the Salton Sea, we're still expecting a strong earthquake in that warning area. And the warning area is from San Francisco Bay to Los Angeles, most likely in Frazier Park. And because we had a swarm of earthquakes begin in the Salton Sea, we're including that in the warning. But the warning is more specifically between San Francisco Bay, Los Angeles, on the Garlock Fault near Frazier Park, where the Garlock Fault intersects with the San Andreas Fault. So again, a 6.5 to 7.5, about a 6.6 is likely in California during the next 48 hours, most likely between San Francisco Bay and LA. Highest risk is in the Frazier Park area along the San Andreas Fault. And also the risk is very high along the Garlock Fault as well, southwest of Ridgecrest. So that's the situation in California. 6.6 is likely during the next 48 hours between San Francisco Bay and LA, and possibly near the Salton Sea as well. And that is for this peak here. Now, Anchorage has a spike in risk on the 9th and again on the 11th, but these are smaller spikes, so that could produce a 5.0 in the Anchorage area on the 9th through the 11th. And in Japan, let's look at Japan's forecast real quick here. Japan has a spike, a smaller spike on the 11th and the 12th of June. And most of their risk is offshore right now. And then on the 9th and 10th, it's up near Hokkaido and Sapporo and Aomori in the far north. And same thing on the 10th and the 11th, up near Hokkaido, Aomori, and Sapporo. on the 10th and the 11th. And you can see down the Japan, the Tokyo, this risk here is for Tokyo, but it often picks up signals from other parts of Japan. All right, let's take a look at some of the other areas around the world. Hawaii, the risk is down south of Hilo, the 7th and the 8th, all the way through the forecast period. The risk remains to the south of Hilo. The highest risk is on, looks like the 9th into the 10th, and the 8th and the 9th there. Moderately high risk there. And then the Washington forecast, excuse me. The 7th and 8th, the risk is west of Seattle. And then the 9th and the 10th, southwest of Seattle and offshore Portland, west of Portland. And then on the 10th and the 11th, the risk is east, southeast of Portland here in Oregon. You can check out these forecasts over at quakeprediction.com. And we've done all these forecasts now, so we can take a look at all these. The Greece forecast is down here in southeast. Greece is where the risk is now. On the 8th into the 9th, it's in Albania. And the 9th into the 10th, the risk is centered down near southwest Greece. And then the 10th and the 11th in north central Greece. The best thing for each person to do is go and take a look at these forecasts yourself. We have Greece, we have Central America forecast, and the highest risk is on the 9th and the 10th in Central America. And we have a forecast for Santiago, Chile. And the highest risk during the forecast period here looks like it's on right there on the 10th and the 11th in the far north. They're just north of Antofagasta in northern Chile. And then we just looked at Central America. The highest risk right now is in Panama. And it continues in the Panama area and Colombia on the 9th and the 10th. And Croatia is in the same forecast as Italy on the 7th and 8th. I believe there was a 4-point something that hit right down in this high risk area here on the 7th and the 8th. And then on the 9th into the 10th down here in the far south, the high risk. And kind of quiet on the 10th and the 11th in Italy. In Cyprus, which is a forecast that goes along with Turkey, the risk is right now up in northeast Turkey. And then on the 8th into the 9th, it's down near Cyprus and western Syria. On the 9th into the 10th, southeast Turkey and western Syria. The 10th into the 11th, far eastern Turkey and northern Iraq. All right, Quito, Ecuador. The risk right now is in northwest Peru. And then 8th into the 9th, let's see, 9th into the 10th, pretty high risk off of Lima, here west of Lima, Peru. And the 10th and the 11th, it's centered north of Lima, northeast of Lima right here in northern Peru on the 10th and the 11th. El Salvador, we looked at that. Guatemala, we looked at that one. Indonesia forecast. The risk right now it's the morning of the 9th, I believe. So we have a moderate risk here in central Sumatra and a high risk south of Java. On the 9th and the 10th looks like the highest risk or the most highest risk is on the 9th and 10th of June here in East Java, east of Jakarta. And then we looked at Italy already. We saw that forecast already. And then Japan, we looked at that here, and the risk is peaking on the 11th and 12th. And Peru, we saw that. New Zealand, Risk right now, it's the 9th over there. So it's over in northwest New Zealand is higher risk there. The 9th into the 10th, the risk is centered down in southeastern New Zealand. The 10th and the 11th of June, it's in far northwest New Zealand. Nicaragua, we saw that already. The Philippines, the risk, I believe, through the forecast period is down here in the south, the 8th and the 9th, also in the south, they're far south and far northwest. The 9th into the 10th, same thing, far south and far northwest. And again, all these maps are on quakeprediction.com. And then Taiwan. The risk right now, it's the 9th over there, is up here in the Ryukyu Islands. And then it gets kind of quiet here on the 9th into the 10th. The 10th into the 11th, maybe 4.0 might be possible in far northern Taiwan. But most of the risk, as we saw in the Japan forecast, is up here in the far, far north part of Japan, near Hokkaido on the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th. So we could get a 5.0 to 6.0 earthquake is very possible, very likely in the far north of Japan on the 9th, the 10th, or the 11th. Keep an eye on that if you live in Japan. And we saw Philippines, we saw Taiwan, we saw Turkey, I believe, yes. Eastern Turkey, and then near Cyprus on the 8th and 9th, 9th and the 10th in south central Turkey, and Eastern Turkey on the 10th and the 11th. Once more, let's look at the Los Angeles forecast. And we're looking for a strong earthquake. Now, I know we've had the 5.9 earthquake off Northwest California on this peak, and a 5.3 on this peak right here, also Los Angeles on this peak. This spike in risk here on the 7th into the 8th has only produced a 4.1 and some smaller quakes in Southern California. This has the potential to produce a 6.6. And every once in a while, the quake will hit a couple days after that. So the warning is still going to remain for the next 36 to 48 hours in Southern California. And again, our warning is between San Francisco Bay and Los Angeles, most likely near Frazier Park, the Garlock Fault, in that area. But also the Salton Sea is a high risk right now because of the swarm of earthquakes in that area. Thanks for stopping by today. And thanks for watching us here at quakeprediction.com and our forecast. And thank you for your support as well. And we will talk to you soon. And we'll probably go live if we have if the earthquake hits anytime soon. But be prepared that risk level is still very high in Southern California and between San Francisco Bay and Los Angeles for another strong earthquake during the next 36 to 48 hours. Thanks for watching, and we will talk to you very soon. Thank you.